Hello, welcome to another video. In this time, I'm going to talk about what can we do as teachers to help our students in their learning. The first thing we have to take into account is what to do. What is what to do? It is like the programs or how we are going to give our students the main aspects or the main purpose of the teaching program. Another thing that we have to take into account is how to do it. How to do it is about to reflect our performing as teachers. It is important for us to take into account all of the authors that we have searched in this class that it was called the learning or development for childhood and adults or teenagers. This in this occasion we have some researches about the experiments of Piaget, Maslow, Skinner. For me, Piaget was the most important author because he tried to explain us how the children develop in order they are growing up. The second stage, which is the 2 to 7 years old, is the most important in my opinion because it's the time that we as teachers are in contact with the students. So it is important also because they do like the transformation of the knowledge with a previous knowledge or previous vision of the things, and they perform something new and create a significant learning. Another thing that I want to highlight of this course was the topic of what we do as a teachers. Our role as teacher in front of class is kind of difficult because we can go with a program to school we are going to believe that everything is going to be okay or well perceived by our students, but what about if they don't get it as we supposed to? There is not like a big plan. We have to take into account the way we perform or we construct or we develop or write our study programs. What do we have to take into account? We have to take by first the approach. Approach is going to cover all of the stages of the class. After we had an approach, we have to develop a technique. What is a technique? Is how are we going to give or make our students to get to the objective of the class. There is an aim projected before to start classes. And after that, the another very important aspect is the technique. What are we going to do it? How are we going to do it? And what is the final product of the class? What is a warm up and what is a wrap? As a teacher, we must to make our students to believe in themselves. This is the main aspect that I consider we have to make our students believe in themselves. After that, they work in teams and takes along with the values. If we as teachers are concerned about our students and their needs, we are going to make individuals that are happy with themselves and with the encourage to learn everything. We teach English. of course, but it is it is also important to make a student be prepared to have a knowledge in other disciplines. Why? Because we know in English, yes, but how are we going to make our students learn? That is our challenge. This is our challenge. This is our task, and I consider that we must take into account all of those aspects in order to have a successful task. And my students, I have learned a lot from my students. For instance, they give me a different answer to the exercises. I believe they were supposed to give me like only one answer, but if they give me different answers, what do I learn? They think, they reflect, and they have another idea, is another knowledge. Everybody is different, and everybody has a different vision of the knowledge, and those answers are not wrong. This is the way to get the knowledge, and I'm going to support them. I'm going to support them by giving them always the feedback requested and try to construct their learning way. This is a very important task for us as teachers, and if we try to get all of those goals into a lesson plan, we are going to have a successful teaching. Thank you.